What's up, y'all? It's your girl Kayla St. Cloud. I am back again with another video. If you are new to my channel, thank you for tuning in. And if you are not new, my dog, what's up? So this video is a book review on the most recent book that I finished. It is on The Coming, written by Daniel Black, and I'm really looking forward to sharing with y'all how this book came into my life, how it affected me, and just giving y'all my general opinion on this story. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it. So how did this book come into my life? So my friend Hakeem, shout out to Hakeem, he recommended this book to me, and I am someone who is very passionate about Black stories in the United States. I'm very passionate about just our history, and although it's one of the things that I'm most passionate about, it hurts me the most, it makes me the most angry, and it sticks on my heart the most. And so I wanted to read the book, you know, like I forced myself to read these stories so I can be informed, but I had to do it in doses. Like I will really, really, really be hurt, and I'll really feel angry for a very long time. It didn't have me as hurt as I expected it to be. It actually left me feeling really empowered. So that's why I'm even more like excited to share this story, because it's real, it's raw, but it includes so much strength in it. So I read reviews on it. I saw that the reviews are really good, so it pushed me to ordering the book, and I'm glad that I did. But the reviews, I saw that it had good reviews, so I assumed that it was really, really gonna have me hurt, and it didn't have me as hurt as I expected it to. So one word that I continuously used to describe this book as I read it was poetic. Daniel Black is a very descriptive writer. He uses imagery beautifully, and just an extremely talented poetic writer. It's like the way that I envision him writing is like waves, like on an ocean. It's just so beautifully, the way that everything just flows is absolutely beautiful. Very talented writer. This book is beautifully written, immediately captivating. The first 3 pages and his style of writing, once I got a feel for his style of writing within the first few pages, it really hooked me in. The book is not a long read at all. I read half of it like the first day that I opened it. It had me hooked within the first 5 pages, and I read half of it that same day, and it's not long at all. I really think that you could finish it in about 3 to 5 days a week if you're super busy or whatever, but it really keeps you hooked on, and it's kind of hard to put down. Another thing is that it's broken into 3 sections, into 3 parts. I mean, the first part starts in Africa prior to the ship ride. The second part is the ship ride, and the third part is arriving in the Americas. So he shares a story of just the way of life of many African people prior to even being taken on those ships. And I really liked that, because it kind of gave us like a home base, like this is where we're going to start from, and I'm going to let you know what we were doing and the type of things we believed in, and then I'm going to show you how we kind of as a people made ourselves susceptible to being greedy, to want to sell each other for guns and more wealth. And then he takes us on the story of being on that boat for months, and his writing, I really feel like, I know that he is an educator, and so it clearly shows an understanding of history of multiple African tribes, but it also feels channeled, like he was meant to write this book. He did it beautifully. I was always aware of the conditions of being on those ships. It being, you know, I was in an African-American history club in 4th grade. And the teacher told all of us to lay on the floor. And she told us to all lay on the floor and then lay close to each other like this. So we're just laid close to each other in a line. And she said, like, that's what your ancestors had to go through. And they were shackled like that, on their backs, on ships for months in. If you had to pee, if you had to poop, if you were on your period, you had to let go right there. And there's feet on your head and there's head on your feet. And you're just packed in there, and you're moving with the boat, soaked in everyone's waste, extremely hot and hungry, and he shares more of that. But he really gave me insight to the type of things that our ancestors were thinking prior to being taken, while they were on the ship, and while they were in quarters in America waiting to be sold. It really felt like I was watching everything happen, and I could hear everyone talking, and I could hear everyone's thoughts, and I was there. I felt like I was there. And because I felt like I was there, that's the part that makes it heavy. But I feel like that's the type of insight that we need. We need to know this story. And he even mentions, you know, our ancestors thinking like, how will our story be told? And that's why I think that Daniel Black did our ancestors justice with this book. It is beautifully written, extremely captivating. I had my boyfriend read 2 pages from a character in the book, and it almost made him tear up. I don't think that this story will make you depressed, because we are so strong. We are such a strong people. And, you know, he made a very important point about those who decided to live and those who decided to succumb to death. Made an important point about those who decided to succumb to death inspired or like motivated those who continued to live, and those who are living continued for those who died. And it really just makes you respect both choices. And you know, I really want us to get away from looking down on those who jumped off of ships or those who continue to stay on the ship, because especially if you're a descendant of Africans who were enslaved, that means that somebody had to endure that for you to be alive. And I don't think that I could have endured that at all. So it's props to everybody. It's props to those who said, you know what, I'm jumping off. And it's props to those who endured. It's props to them. This is one of those stories that'll make you feel really proud. Because it's not even like you get to the end to see how it happened. You're seeing how they're going through this, but doing this and creating this bond and sticking together. You see how they're going through that, but doing this to continue to endure. And just with every page, you're just like, damn, like, how? You don't even have to get to the end of the story to see us in our beauty and in our glory. He shows you how the things that our ancestors did to help each other endure, and the things that they told each other to help each other endure. And I think that if our ancestors were to read this book, they would be proud. I think he told that story beautifully. Let's read more stories about our history, about our ancestors' past, that makes us feel empowered and strong. Because a lot of times, you know, you're learning about Black history and you feel like, dang, yeah, that was us. We had to go through that. And that in itself is just the system trying to make it seem like that's your fault. Nobody needed to enslave nobody. Nobody needed to even enslave anybody. Nobody needed to bring them over in those conditions and treat them like that, and then get them off the boat and then get you to treat them like animals. That's nothing that we need to be ashamed of. But the fact that we're not wiped out, the fact that we were so sought after and in such high demand, and still to this day says something. I'm reading the book again. My children will be reading this book. I'm making everybody that I know read this book. No dislikes. I have absolutely no dislikes about this story. All right, y'all, so that's all I have for y'all this week. Thank you for watching this book review. Hopefully you feel moved to pick up this book, if not for yourself or someone else, but it is seriously a beautifully written piece of work. It needs all the attention that it could get ever possibly. So thank you for watching. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and interacting with me. And I am having a giveaway for this book, and you can find the rules for this giveaway on my Instagram, which you will have to look in the description box below for my Instagram. Hopefully you don't miss the giveaway. And if you do, it's okay because you can get it online. But thank you for watching. I will see y'all again next week. Y'all stay safe.